I'd like to tell you a little bit about a teacher who has inspired me to be both a better student, a better learner, and now, as I prepare to be a teacher, has inspired me to be a better teacher. Before I do this, I want to give background knowledge about the situation. The teacher I've decided to focus on is named Mr. Stanley, and I had him for my freshman year math class in high school here in San Francisco at St. Ignatius. I myself am working with several different learning challenges, including ADHD and dyslexia. Up until high school, I was able to somewhat manage through my public schooling despite my challenges. Able to get okay grades. Once I got to a private institution, I found myself very overwhelmed by both the content and the caliber of what was being asked for me. First, one reason Mr. Stanley inspired me as a student, but also now as a teacher in the future. He was so excellent in implementing TPE or learning about students. He saw just my demeanor in the classroom and how overwhelmed and even terrified I became. He then used my homework and just how I was behaving in class as a way for him to understand that something needed to be done and there was some intervention that needed to take place. So based on his assessment data, observing me in the classroom and reflecting, he actually took the extra step in consulting the learning difference counselor at our school and got me involved with her and the extra help I really needed, and that helped me learn that learning differently is okay and there's resources out there for me. He was the teacher that scheduled that meeting and made that happen, and it's really changed the rest of my life. Going beyond that, TP number 3, interpretation and use of assessments. Once he had a better understanding of who I was as a learner, he found better ways to assess me based on what I really needed and based on how much I was actually improving once he used different accommodations and modifications for me that were so much more appropriate. And even further, he checked in with me every day. He went the extra mile in tutoring me and checked in with the learning difference counselor to make sure that I was feeling fully supported. He had what he needed to develop a better understanding of the challenges I was facing. All of these things together, basically in summary, Mr. Stanley saw that I was struggling for reasons that were far beyond my control. I was putting in the effort, but it wasn't reflected in my grades. He made that connection to the resources that I needed, and he used other assessments that were more appropriate for my academic development. All this combined together made me so much more confident in my abilities, not only in his math class, but my abilities in myself as a student and what I could really be capable of. So not only has Mr. Stanley inspired me, but I hope that he inspires all of us to really take notice to how our students are behaving in class, and that when assessments might look like students aren't trying, there really is the opportunity to learn more and look deeply into why it is that they're struggling and potentially change how they think about themselves and learn about themselves as learners and make that intersection that could really change a student's life. Thank you.